Hi, you just saw me practicing Here Comes the Sun, the famous song from the Beatles. And specifically this intro is interesting because, again, this has some single string picking in it. What I did in this practice session was standing up and playing with my eyes closed to keep setting the boundaries ahead and to make it even more difficult to find the right strings. But this is not the only thing I want to discuss in this video, because I also want to review my latest guitar lesson, which was on Wednesday last week, the 7th of October. In this lesson I discussed mainly with my guitar teacher my learning process of the C major scale. I've already learned two figures of the C major scale. I've also discussed that every 2 weeks, because I have a guitar lesson every 2 weeks, I want to learn a new figure. There are 7 figures total, 5 left to go, so within 10 weeks or something like that I will have learned all the 7 figures and learned the patterns in its entirety. So that will be very interesting. Besides learning all the figures and learning the right notes and where to put my fingers on the neck, my guitar teacher wants me to work on arpeggio techniques, and the first technique he wants me to practice is the bending, which is very difficult on an acoustic guitar. Bending half a step on a scale is not too difficult. For example, this is the note I want. This is the 13th fret. This is the note I want to achieve with the bending. This is the 12th. That's not too difficult, but when I want to bend a whole step, that's very difficult on this acoustic guitar with the heavy gauge strings. This is the 15th fret, 13th. I have to bend it so far and so high. That's taking a lot of force. This got me thinking about my cheap electric guitar, which is lying in a case here in the house, and probably I will get this electric guitar to guitar luthier and get a decent setup, because when I strum 3 times hard on that electric guitar, it's out of tune, and I think it's because the tuners on the headstock are in very bad shape, or were bad from the beginning. It is not a very expensive guitar, but maybe with a not too expensive setup I can play my electric guitar specifically to learn how to play solo guitar, because practicing on this acoustic with the bending is taking a lot of force. So that's something I'm considering right now. I haven't decided yet, but maybe I will get my electric guitar to a luthier to get a right setup, and then I can practice the bending and the soloing on the electric guitar. I have no amplifier, so it will only be the electric guitar without amplification. But maybe it's something I will discuss with my guitar teacher the next lesson and see what his advice is on this matter. The C major scale isn't the only subject I discussed with my guitar teacher, because I also told him I had chosen a new project song for my fingerpicking path, and that's the song Never Going Back Again by Fleetwood Mac. And when I bought my acoustic guitar, which is almost a year ago, I immediately want to learn to play Never Going Back Again by Fleetwood Mac, but it was too difficult. And after I decided to pick a new song, because More Than Words is now in my system, I can rehearse it and perfect my technique on it. I thought to myself, well, let me give a try. It's been a year right now, so maybe with my new skills and improved skills I can now learn it. And I think it's in my reach right now, but it's a very difficult song because it has a lot of bar chords which are giving me headaches and a lot of muscle cramps, and on specific parts I have more times than not muted strings, and I was discussing it with my guitar teacher, and especially a specific part to see where the muted string is coming from, because in my analysis it could be from 2 fingers. And I asked him to watch my play very closely to see what was going on. And it's this part, it's early in the beginning. Then I have to pluck the bass string, and then the 3rd string. And the 3rd string is more times than not sounding full, but muted. This one right now. And it can be that my index finger, the barring finger, isn't putting enough force on the string, so it's sounding muted. But also very difficult is my ring finger. My ring finger is on the 4th string, but it has to be very upright, because when it's down like this, then I mute the 3rd string, but it's difficult because I also have to put down my pinky. So when I put down my pinky, as a habit, my ring finger is going down and not enough upright. So this is a troublesome finger. But sometimes I also have a fatigue in my index finger, and I can't hold the bar strong enough so that the tension on the 3rd string is too loose, and it also is sounding muted. My guitar teacher in the lesson could see that the troublesome finger was my ring finger, but I also noticed myself by practice some more that sometimes it's also the index finger which is causing the muted strings. And the whole song, this is just one example, is full of this little minute, very sensitive notes which I have to play within the bar chords. And it's very interesting because I have to play very slowly and to listen and to watch and to analyze what is going wrong when I have some muted strings. So that's very interesting, and with the help of my guitar teacher I was somewhat getting further on my analysis. So that was the second thing. So to sum up, I am going to learn the C major scale with some new figures every 2 weeks. I am practicing the bending, and I'm thinking about giving my electric guitar a new setup so I can practice the bending on my electric guitar, so I can more easily learn how to bend where I am bending the string a whole step, not a half step of the scale. And the last thing is that in this finger picking song, Never Going Back Again by Fleetwood Mac, I have to be very sensitive in the analysis where it's going wrong. One interesting thing I noticed with the finger picking is that the tension in my picking hand is becoming less and less. I can play with a more relaxed picking hand, and I can get rid of my anchor finger because I'm more relaxed in my picking hand. And I think it's mainly because I've practiced More Than Words, where I can't use an anchor finger, and it's also a picking song where every time I have to pick some strings, I have to pick different strings, sometimes with 4 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger at a time, and that's that was very good to develop my technique furthermore. And Right now I sometimes am practicing without the use of an anchor finger, where my hand is just flowing above the strings, which is giving me more room to move the fingers. If you listen to my playing very closely, then you can hear me touching other strings. Strings which are ringing out are then muted, or you can hear a little buzz in a string. So that's telling me that I still have a lot of work to do to improve my picking ability. And specifically this part I practice very often. It's part of my finger picking practice routine. So I have still a lot of work to do getting this hand more relaxed and to be even more precise in picking only the strings and touching only the strings which have to be picked. Yeah, something to work on in the future.